TY, and he's like they're chumming up together, and TY hates Islam. So you need to talk to this dude. Yeah, you need to talk to this dude. Yeah, they're more intelligent. No, they're more intelligent than that. They know that soon it will not be Indonesia that has the majority of Muslims. It's going to be India. India is soon going to have more Muslim head numbers than Indonesia, which already has almost 180 million Muslims. So I think they already know that Islam is not an Arab religion.
So the brothers seem to think that it's only religion for Arabs. Is that right?
No, the problem is this. There is a problem, which is this. There is a saying in Islam, there is no Quran, there's no Islam without the Quran, and there's no Quran without Arabic. And because of that, necessarily and naturally, Arabs feel a kind of gatekeeper ownership. Because there is no Islam without the Quran, and there's no Quran without Arabic. So I understand why Arabs feel a kind of ownership.
Excuse me, again, say again.
However, there is no Islam without the Quran. That is easy enough for you to understand. I'm going to say the second bit now. There is no Islam, there's no Quran. You have a question, you said?
No,
you told me she wanted to, you told me she didn't hear what I said.
That's all right, I understood what you said.
Why did you interrupt?
No, because I didn't hear you.
Y'all cutting my wisdom, man. Back to you. So, the situation is this. There is, during the Umayyad period, Arabs accrued to themselves the sense of a superior race like the Jews did. In other words, a lot of their theology as an unlettered people was taken from Jewish epistemology, Jewish philosophy, the way of doing things, writing stuff down. A lot of it was borrowed, not just from the Jews, from the Greeks and stuff as well, because essentially Bedouin society only writes down the barest minimum. So now they are now they're now a civilized society. The capital is now in Damascus. They're the center of the world. They have to do things like an empire because instead of being a caliphate, really and truly, it was an empire. I can't get away from that. So now you have in empires, you have Übermensch and Untermensch. You have this kind of thing in all empires. Even the Romans said, if you belong to the Roman outpost of Hispania in Spain, you're still a Roman citizen. No, you had higher citizens and lower citizens. Right. What I'm saying about the Umayyad became an empire. Arabic became the language of the empire, and it gave the Arabs a sense of freedom. Now, who are the Arabs? Here's the kicker. Yeah,
teach.
The Arabs could start by, you see, you can take it small or big. You can telescope this point. You could have Jazirat al-Arab. The Arabs could come from just the Arabian Peninsula. So people from Oman, which is Yemen today, which is Qatar, which is Bahrain, which is Emirat, which is Saudi, which is and so forth, could be Arabs. And they would be the nucleus of the Arabs. But they're not just the Arabs, right? Because later on, there are people who bought into being Arab, like Berbers in North Africa. If you go to Egypt, I'm talking about Egypt. I'm talking about Morocco. I'm not going to Morocco. I'm not going to Algeria. In Egypt, if you go to Siwa, you will find Berbers still, which is the border with Libya. So as far as still in Egypt, you still get Berber-speaking people. Yeah. So what I'm saying is, Arabic conferred, because remember this is the written language. Berber was not a written language. A lot of the languages at the time, Persian was written. So that's why you will see of all the civilizations that were encompassed by the Arabs at the time of the Umayyads, the Persians retained their language, right? And they retained their civilization. And you may notice that Persians don't have a problem with this dialogue we're having. You see this debate we're having about, I don't want to be no Muslim because that's an Arab thing. Persians don't wake up at night worrying about that. They know who they are, even though they're Muslim. They know they're Persians. And they're happy with that, they're proud of that, they're cool with that. And I think anybody who becomes a Muslim doesn't have to feel he's surrendering too much. And if he's surrendering too much, he has to check himself. You gotta check yourself and see what you're surrendering. If people are making you wear a thobe when you can wear your African clothes, if somebody's pressuring you to wear a thobe, something wrong with you, not with him. I don't want to hang with anybody telling me wear a thobe or wear some tight Western jeans or something like that. White man clothes, right? Or thobe. When I have my African clothes, he got his kurta shalwa kameez, he got his thing, but we want to be somebody else. Now I understand we live in a society, got integrated, that's cool. But what I'm saying is, with black people, we have a special situation. And our special situation was we have been dislocated, emotionally disconnected from who we are. And as a people, we need to regain a certain amount of self-esteem. Now, other nations may have too much history and too much culture. Look at my fingers. Some people may have too much history. We have too little. And too little. That's what I'm trying to say. I know that sounds weird, right? So what we do in order to get to where we should be, other people will call that kibble, arrogance. They say that's arrogance. That's black supremacy. It's not. We are trying to get to a place where everybody is. You see? And that's what I need our people to understand. Persians can be comfortable. I meet Malaysians all the time. Malaysians don't lay awake at night saying, oh God, I don't know why I'm a Muslim man, I'm being an Arab. They're cool. They got their Malaysian clothes. I go to their party, man, they got a nice Malaysian food, nice Malaysian honeys. They got their clothes on. They're happy. Turks don't like wake up at night saying, oh my God, why ain't I an Arab? Why do they speak Fusha, classical Arabic more fluently? They don't wake at night bothering about things like that. So black people who are Muslims, learn this. Know who you are. And when you know who you are, you won't lay awake at night wondering whether you're being too much or too little Arab. Am I making sense? Yes. You gotta make sense. My name is Danjuma. People call me Juma because that's also my name. No. Short name.
Sheikh
I am Danjum. That's African name. Yeah? I do not need to have an Arab name to be a Muslim. I do not need to wear Arabic clothes to be there. I don't need olives and dates to be a Muslim. Right? I'm happy with who I am. I like to be Fulani. I like to be Ashanti. I like to be Zulu. I like to be Maasai. I like to be Soninke. I like to be Wolof. I like to be Yoruba. I like to be Igbo. I don't want to be a Hebrew because it's not inside Africa. I want to be inside Africa. Yeah, I'm all of them. You know why? I was taken from Africa as a slave. And that mixture occurred, that crucible where Ashanti mixed with Yoruba, mixed with Soninke, mixed with Dongolau, mixed with Amhara. Everybody got mixed up. I am all the tribes and all the stories out of Africa. I can claim any part of Africa. And you should too. Even if you... I knew you would do that. Don't be tribal. Hear me. Hear me. Hear me. Here's my problem with you people. Just you people. Here's my problem. These guys will get into fashion. So he might be working for Karl Lagerfeld. Now we're gonna say, Carl, look what I'm doing. Carl, and you're like, he's gonna be like, Carl, look what I've done. And there's always a fusion between Ashanti culture and British culture. Now if he's in France, let's say from Senegal, but they have he's gonna be like with some French, I don't know who the French, Jean-Paul Gaultier. Yeah, he's gonna say, Jean-Paul, or whatever they say. Look what I got here. Some Senegalese spliced with French. No, I want an Ashanti man saying, Yoruba man, let's mix what we have. Let's mix what we have. You see this Adire, that Ashoke that you've got, we have Kente. We have Kente. Let's blend Africa to Africa. That's what Malcolm said. Before we get black, white unity, we need some black unity. And teach.
Yoruba man fight Igbo man over their tribe. The Fuller man fight Igbo man.
Didn't the Serbs fight the Croats? And the white? Didn't Czechoslovakia, you weren't alive when they were Czechoslovakia. Now it's Slovakia and Czech Republic. You must have been born in those days. Oh, you look older than me. Yeah, what I'm trying to say is, everybody fights. People do have conflict. I agree with what you're saying. We don't have time for conflict. I get that. But we will fight. But everybody else fight. We will. But how to, you're making a point still, and I will run away from it. We need to learn how to resolve conflict and love each other more than we love the other people who come in at our own expense, because we do that. We love the foreigner, the stranger, more than we love ourselves. Y'all, anybody want to ask me anything? I think you had a question.
should we love the believers first or our kinsmen first?
I like what the Nyabingi said. Death to black and white oppressors. You know what they're saying there? In every human being there's a Satan. In every human being, black or white. You see, you come at me with devilry and you're black, boy, you worse than a white man come at me with devilry, man. You worse, man. You worse because you're my brother and I'm going to take you in and you're going to stab me. With a white man, maybe I'm watching to see what he got. With you, I'm like this. So what I'm saying is this, you know, I think unity has to be on different levels. You don't only have one. In life, you might be a father, but you're also a brother. You're also an uncle. And the relationship you have around you are different. We have to be the same. Black people can't have single-stranded relationships. We are black people, we need black solidarity. But we also take Grenfell, I've just mentioned Grenfell just now. We have working class solidarity. I can't just say, I'm only concerned about the black people that burned to death in Grenfell. Or I'm only concerned with the Muslims who burned in Grenfell. I can't do that. Right? So we have to have multiple relationships. You cannot exist otherwise. But for me, I said it to him, and this is what I believe. If you, I think some of you all heard me say it, I'll repeat it one last time. If we all have our children sleep over at his house, of course, the reason he has all our children there, your children, mine, is because he loves them all. But doesn't he love his own more? Of course! Why is that so? Why does every other race get surprised when we start showing black love? You know why? They are accustomed to us doing the jigaboo kind of thing, porch monkey kind of thing, hating on ourselves. And dancing for the white man. They're accustomed to, so when we stop doing that, it's like, I remember, I'll tell you what this, I went to SOAS, School of Oriental and African Studies, in the 80s, right? When I was there, I was the only black person, well, I'm born here, but I grew up in the Caribbean. I was born in England, but as you can tell from my accent, I wasn't born here. When I came back, so they assumed I was, because SOAS, School of Oriental and African Studies, has a lot of overseas foreign students. All those dictators' children go there. And they're doing all these dilettante sort of studies. You know, they're wasting time, area studies in this or that, and they pay plenty, so they never fail. They pay plenty and they never fail. So they assumed I was one of them. Until they came to realize, I'm getting a grant. In those days you didn't pay. In the days when in the 80s, you got a grant. And they realized, well, and all of a sudden they were like, so you from Trinidad? Yes. And your name is Danjuma? Yes. They started watching me different, like this guy. Okay, let me give you an example of what I mean. In Turkey, you have social hijab and political hijab. In Turkey, you can wear a veil and it can mean two different things. If an old lady from a village wears a veil, she cool. She can pray in the mosque. A young girl put on a veil, what's she up to? What's she doing, man? What's that? What's she up to? She's political. An African being an African was fine, but for me, finding Africa was dangerous for them. And up to today, I am at a loss as to articulate the exact reason why a black man finding Africa makes white people uncomfortable. I don't know why. I don't know why.
And others, not only white people,
Yeah.
and others.
I don't know why. I answered that. You're being mischievous because I said we have different levels of relationships. Well, midgets, don't let it go in your eye. Yeah, I said that we have different kinds of relationships. You cannot only be. You're not just a father because you have children. You're a grandson. Yes. You got different, so you have to relate to different people at different levels. You cannot get, really, especially in a society like this. I believe, personally, the way we're being treated in the world, we need a moratorium. I believe we need some separation for a while.